First, I want to thank the Big Ten for this opportunity to bring the men and women's basketball programs together, and man, it's just an awesome day. So really excited to be part of it. I've been doing this a while, and it's just for our players and for our programs. It's women's basketball in the Big Ten, I think, is probably as strong as it's ever been, and just to be part of, hopefully coming back here and maybe winning one of these trophies in March, it would be a lot of fun. Again, thanks to also to Commissioner Warren and his commitment to basketball and women's basketball. So we're just really excited, and to have the opportunity to coach at Northwestern over the next 4 years was really important to me and my family. So for Dr. Gregg and the people that have invested in me, just a special place to coach. Like our team, I think I have one of the great guards in college basketball, in Veronica Burton. She just won a gold medal with USA Basketball this summer, and she just makes me a really good coach on game day. So, really have a top 10 recruiting class with freshmen. I don't really like rankings, but we have 5 freshmen I think are really going to help us. Coming off a great year and coming off a COVID year where we won the Big Ten championship and felt like we were going to make a deep run in the NCAA. So we're still trying to build off of that. We lost Lindsey Pulliam, was drafted in the WNBA, scored 2,000 points. So trying to figure out how to replace her. She gave up 1,800, but she scored 2,000. So she's playing right now in Turkey, and she probably scored 30 today. So a lot of change in our program from the standpoint of roster, but really like our young players, and they're talented, and they still trying to figure out where the dorm is, where the food is, and hopefully where the gym is. So a lot of good things are happening at Northwestern. So proud to be part of it. And, just last year to be in San Antonio and have a chance. Our league had such a great run. We got beat in a great game where we led Louisville most of the game, got beat to go to the Sweet 16. So we got a little bittersweet, taste. A lot of our players are looking forward to competing again. So, and to have fans back, really important. And the Big Ten, obviously, one of the great leagues as far as women's basketball fan support. So, again, appreciate any questions. Thanks.
We'll open it up. Second row. He's calling her out right there.
Hey, Joe. Kevin Sweeney from Sports Illustrated. Just wanted your thoughts on the extension and kind of what it means to you, given what the team has gone through the last couple of years.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I think the biggest thing is just stability. And, I haven't been there 14 years. I coached GW for, 20 years. So, we're really blessed as a family to, coaches don't get to coach the same school for a long, long time anymore. So I think that's, the thing that we're really appreciative of. And from a recruiting standpoint, we got this great program, and we want people to know I'm going to be the head coach. So I think that's, something that's important to our whole staff.
In the back.
Joe, Steve Sturman. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Steve.
XL Sports, Indiana Sports Network. Joe, you and I sat in this same building eating lunch one day, the first Big Ten tournament you ever participated in. And one of the things you told me was it's going to take hard work and patience to make this work. We want to expound on that now, years later, that you got the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, I was. I remember that too, and I was pretty prophetic in that. But, I was coming off a GW run where we were ranked in, we had Final 8 teams, top 10 teams every year. And when I took over Northwestern, they finished last 4 or 5 years in a row and hadn't won a game in the Big Ten a couple times. So people thought I was crazy, like, what are you doing? And but we saw the potential, we saw the opportunities, and so I think now we're starting. Now we have as good a facility as there is in college basketball, in all our sports too. Fitz and Chris Collins and I benefit from what's happened when we first got there. we'd play games with snow coming in, and we call timeouts just to clear the floor again. So we made a lot of progress. But,
We have time for one more question for Coach. Well, thank you so much for your
guys.
time this
Thank you.
morning. Good luck this season.
Thank you. Go Cats. Thanks.
Well, you heard Joe McKeown talk about Chris Collins. He's the head coach of the men, about to start his 9th year with the team. Miller Kopp, a familiar name for Wildcat fans, has transferred out. Same with Anthony Gaines. Remember, they started the year great last year, 3-0 in conference play. They ended the year great, 3-0. Is that 13 straight losses in the middle that was a problem? Back to Kevin Warren.
It's my pleasure to announce the next coach to the podium from Northwestern University, Chris Collins, who's entering his 9th season. He comes from an incredibly strong basketball family. He had a great career himself at Duke University, and he's continued to work hard, build and grind, and be a great coach in the Big Ten at Northwestern. So I'm looking forward to seeing Chris coach this year and his team play. They have a great style. He has some great players at Northwestern University. So it's good to welcome Chris Collins to the podium.
Everybody, it's great to be back and after a year off, see everyone. It always makes me smile to see Commissioner Warren. Fun little tidbit. When I was an 8-year-old kid, I was a ball boy for the University of Pennsylvania men's basketball team. And I used to go out every day and watch a young backcourt with Kevin Warren and Franny McCaffrey. So to now be in the Big Ten and be coaching against Fran and to have Kevin be our commissioner, to me, that's pretty cool. And I really appreciate your leadership, Kevin, throughout last year. You know, everything that everyone did in the Big Ten to help us have a season. And obviously it was a strong one, a lot of great teams, and we had a lot of success. Really looking forward to this year, as everyone says. I know I've seen a lot of these, and everyone's excited now. We haven't lost any games, but really looking forward to what our group can become. We've really invested the last couple years in a core group of players, and when you do that as young players, sometimes you go through some growing pains, but there's also some great highs, which we achieved last year. But I'm really proud of our guys, the way they've stuck together, the improvement we've made. You know, I think if you look at our roster now, we have a number of guys in their 3rd and 4th years. I don't want to call them juniors and seniors because I don't really know what class they are with the COVID rule last year. But headed by Pete Nance, Ryan Young, Ryan Greer, Chase Audiche. 4 guys that are in their 4th year of college basketball. All guys that have become tremendous leaders for us. Guys that have been key players. I think all of them are primed to be even better this year. The way they've led our program throughout the spring, the summer, really proud of that. You add guys like Boo Buie, Robbie Barron to that group. They've been guys who've played a lot of basketball. They've been guys who've shown that they can be really good players in this league. Then we've now added to that with some newcomers. Ty Berry, Matt Nicholson as sophomores. And our newcomers, Elijah Williams, who we're impressed with as a grad transfer from Fairleigh Dickinson, and our 3 freshmen, Casey Simmons, Julian Roper, and Brooks Barnheiser. So we feel like our roster is in a good spot. Our camaraderie, our chemistry, our spirit, all those things to me are at a winning level right now. Now can our play be at a winning level? And that's the next step. And like I said, I think this group has shown that they can play at a high level, but the consistency hasn't been there. And in order for us to be successful in this league, we're going to have to be a little bit better in that regard. We're going to, once we hit a little bit of bump in the road, you got to find a way to get a win and keep moving in the right direction. So I'm really anxious. I'm excited to coach this group. They've been a fun group to come every day. They're about all the right things. They really want to win. They really want to get us back to that level of being a team that can play in the postseason, and I'm excited to coach them and see what we can do. So open up for questions.
Please raise your hand for questions for Coach. Over here in the green.
Hey, Coach. Update on Brooke Barnheiser. He had, I think, some off-season surgery, and just where's he at from a health standpoint, and also kind of how do you see his role, assuming that he's in good health to play this year?
Yeah, Brooks is recovering, from a broken foot. Indiana boy, so I know a lot of people locally know him well. Had a great senior year last year. I think was the leading scorer in the state of Indiana. Really excited about his future. He was out all summer, but he's back. He's been with us all fall, and as we started practice here a couple weeks ago, he's been cleared and ready to go. And he's just a really good basketball player. That's what I love about Brooks. He can handle. He's smart. He's tough. He can shoot it. He's got good size. And those are the kind of guys I really like, those versatile guys that can do a little bit of everything, play in different kinds of lineups. Son of a high school coach, so he's been in the gym his whole life. He loves the game, is a gym rat, and really looking forward to seeing how he can integrate with the group we have.
In the very far back.
Max Rezick from the Hoosier Network. What are you looking for Miller Kopp at another university, kind of watching him grow, but as well for your own roster? Where are you going to look to fill that hole that he leaves in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I'm so appreciative of what Miller did for us for 3 years. No one works harder. He's really competitive and became a good player. Double-figure scorer in the Big Ten. And he's going to add a lot to Indiana, those things that I mentioned. He comes every day. He's about the right stuff. He wants to win. He's a great teammate. He can really shoot it, and he'll be a veteran guy for that team. So, obviously I wish him the best. Those are going to be some shoes for us to fill. He was a scorer for us. He was a leader for us. I think a guy like Ty Berry, someone who comes to mind. Ty was a guy last year as a freshman, I thought showed some signs. Had some really good moments, can really shoot the ball, bring some pop to us. I think he'll be someone that, we'll ask to do a little bit more this year in Miller's absence, as well as some of our young guys. We have 3 freshman wings that I have high aspirations for: Casey Simmons, Brooks, who I talked about, and Julian Roper. So I think there'll be more opportunity, for some of those guys to be able to get out there and help us.
We have time for a couple more questions for Coach. In the back.
Hey, Chris, how are you today? Steve Strimming, XL Sports, Indiana Sports Network. Every team's looking for an identity. Are you still looking for an identity for Northwestern, and do you want that identity to be kind of like Brian McIntosh, who's another Indiana kid?
I would love for the identity to be a lot like Brian McIntosh. We need more Brian McIntoshes. He was such a special player and helped lead us to our first NCAA tournament. But, I think last year we started to kind of create more of an identity, be a team that is multifaceted where, we have, be able to open the floor, have a lot of guys who can pass, handle, and shoot. I'd like to be able to play with a little bit of pace. That kind of lends itself to more to my personality. But at the end of the day, I want our team to be tough, to be together, and to be a group that comes out that people don't like to play against. I think that's always the greatest compliment you can have as a team when the other team is not looking forward to going out and playing against you, because for 40 minutes, that team's going to be competing, the effort, and the togetherness, and those are things we're trying to continue to build. And I really like this group. Like I said, I think the leadership is in a great spot. There's some older players that have really grown a lot over the last couple years, and they're ready to take that step. And it's going to be exciting to see, for me, what that can mean for us. The league is going to be as good as ever. We know that. The level of coaches, the level of players, there are no off nights. you got to play really well in order to win a game. And but we feel like we're going to go about our business. We're going to get ourselves ready and hopefully be a team that can contend this year.
We have time for one final question. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time this morning, Coach. Good luck this season.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to congratulate Joe McKeown, our women's coach. What a great day for him and his family, and well-deserved. So go Cats.